Ice, ice, baby. We talked to students and faculty about how ELN is reacting to the first ice storm of the year.
One ELN student has a personal connection to the attacks in Nigeria. We spoke with her about the attacks in her home country.
And a new standout star, we have an exclusive interview with Elijah Bryant. He's a freshman guard and now he's scoring his way to success.
Good afternoon, ELN. Welcome to ELN Midday. I'm Marcella Hawkins.
And I'm Mackenzie Roberts. We start with some wild weather that hit the area this morning. If you had trouble opening your icy car or walking to class, you weren't the only one. Our Ashley McGettrick is live in studio with tips on how to handle the ice. Ashley?
Thank you, Mackenzie and Marcella. Well, you didn't need to go outside to see that winter has, in fact, arrived. Just check your inbox, your Facebook, your Twitter, or even Yik Yak. One anonymous Yik Yacker posted that Smith Jackson made himself, quote, ELN's most wanted at 5:47 a.m. That's when he sent out the email titled ELN University on normal schedule. But are we being a little bit seasonally spoiled? Just because social media might have exaggerated a little bit doesn't mean it's totally safe for driving yet. Here's some easy tips to make sure your driving is as slick as black ice. If you do slide out, don't try to steer. Frantically turning your wheel is only going to make matters worse. Best thing to do, hold on to the steering wheel, steady, and wait it out. Jesus, take the wheel. If you wake up to an icy windshield and are running late for class, a cup of warm water poured on your windshield might just do the trick. Just make sure that the water isn't hot or you'll actually crack your windshield and then you'll be really late. Finally, just slow down. You might lose a few points for being late, but you'll lose a lot more points if you rear end your professor. For your up-to-date weather, check ELN Local News, not Yik Yak. I'm Ashley McGettrick. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ashley. And with all of the icy weather outside, let's take a look to see what the rest of the week is going to look like. Our Dion Buck is outside by Corey Business Center with your weather forecast. Dion?
Thanks, guys. Before you head out today, be sure to bundle up. Also, beware of slick spots around campus and walk with caution. Right now, we're at about 30 degrees, but today looks to get up to about 41. The sun should start peeking out this afternoon, but will stay partly cloudy until tonight, when temperatures will drop into the low 20s. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, tomorrow morning we can expect mostly sunny skies with temperatures in the 30s. But once we get past tomorrow, you can put away the rain boots and gloves as the skies clear out and temperatures warm up. Thursday's high is going to be in the upper 40s with lows in the 20s, so wear layers for when it's a bit colder. The week perks up a little bit more. We'll see highs in the 50s with sunny skies on Friday and Saturday, and lows in the 20s and 30s, so be prepared for all the temperatures. Gotta love that North Carolina weather. On Sunday, there's a chance of a slight shower, so that umbrella won't go away for too long. Mackenzie and Marcella, back to you.
Thanks, Dion. ELN students are still mourning the loss of junior Trent Stetler, who died earlier this week. Dean of Students Smith Jackson sent an email to the student body last night with information on Stetler's funeral. The Stetlers will hold a visitation on Friday and a funeral on Saturday, both in Stetler's hometown. ELN is providing transportation and housing for students who wish to attend the funeral. Bands will leave from the Oaks Friday and are expected to return to campus Saturday night. Dean Jackson's email stated those who need transportation should contact Jan Registrar in Truett Center before noon tomorrow. For more information on travel to and from services, check out our website at elonlocalnews.com. Stetler was active on ELN's campus from the business to the communications school, the rugby field to Alpha Kappa Psi. Stetler touched a lot of lives here at ELN. We're now joined by University Chaplain Jan Fuller. Welcome, Chaplain Fuller.
Thank you.
So, what are some healthy ways of dealing with grieving when you've lost a loved one?
Well, you know, grief is a normal process, and the body and the mind are equipped to do it under normal circumstances without any assistance. Mm-hmm. You might sleep more, you might sleep less, you might not be hungry, you might have dreams, you might wake up and wish it was a dream, but it's a normal process. Mm-hmm. We should watch for people who are really consumed by it in a way. Mm-hmm. Those who can't return to the structure of their lives even for short periods of time. But those who can should try to go to class, try to read for a few minutes, do the normal parts of life, get a little exercise, get outside. Those are helpful. We should eat, we should sleep, right. we should really kind of attend to our lives.
Right, and since everyone does deal with grief differently, is there any way of knowing if there are signs of if grieving has extended past the normal time period?
You know, we live in a culture that wants it all to go away really fast. We want people to just be okay, and people are not okay when they've lost someone close to them. But if somebody really can't sleep or can't think for long periods of time, if somebody is just consumed, thinking only about that, they may want to see a counselor, they may want to talk to a chaplain. We understand that grief is a normal part of love. You know, it's the opposite end of love. And sometimes it helps just to talk about it. If your friends get tired of talking about it with you, and I doubt in this case they will, but come and find somebody else to talk to about it. We want to watch for signs of depression in somebody who's grieving, although grief looks a lot like depression at the beginning.
And you said talking about it. Would you suggest talking to a friend who's they've lost a friend? I mean, how would
Sure, I would talk to somebody who, like, if you're talking about Trent, you should talk about Trent to other people who love him, you know, other people who lost him. If those people are not available, then just find somebody to say, you know, I lost a good friend. This is really hurting me. It's okay to be heard about that. We want to normalize that and say it is absolutely a normal process.
And then just what are some more resources for students? I know you said you can.
Well, counselors are available 24/7, right? They have office hours and will see somebody in an emergency. There's a counselor always on call. There are chaplains who are ready. There are local pastors and ministers as resources. Hospice offers a grief counseling free to anybody who's lost somebody. So those are all resources, and I find that the best resource is a friend.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. When we come back, we'll have the stories making headlines around the world.
Here at ELN, the names Leo Lambert and Smith Jackson are familiar to most, but Dr. House, that's Stephen House, may not be as well known. Our Preston Willett sat down to talk with this campus leader.
Knows what the provost does.
Dr. Stephen House isn't just the man on stage at Convocation or introducing ELN's production of Phantom of the Opera. He's ELN's provost or the chief academic officer.
There's the president, and the next person is the provost and vice president for academic affairs.
That's right. While President Leo Lambert is away, Dr. House is the man in charge. A lot of responsibility for someone who once could not pronounce the school's name.
I interviewed and I called it wrong for the first day, and finally someone, when I was giving a talk, said it's not Elon, it's Elon, like email. And I thought, there's no way I'm going to get the job. But I got the job.
But even if you do know his current position at ELN, you might not know about Dr. House's past.
At ELN, they don't know I was a cardiovascular physiologist. I think the faculty don't understand that at one point I was a faculty member just like them, teaching classes.
After founding the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. House was selected as the next provost in 2009, replacing Jerry Francis. Dr. House says ELN simply brings out the best in him.
The passion comes out, the curiosity comes out, the responsibility comes out. And that is who I am. I am so curious. I want to know more about students. I want to know more about faculty. I want to know more about everything.
Dr. House says that even with all the late nights and extra responsibilities, you gotta love the job of being a provost. Preston Willett, ELN Local News.
One of Dr. House's jobs that ELN students may not know is that he makes the call on school canceling for weather.
And Jonathan Winston is here with headlines from around the world. Jonathan?
Thanks, Mackenzie. We start today with the latest on the satirical French magazine Charlie Hebdo. The latest issue was released this morning, depicting the Muslim prophet Muhammad on the cover, with the caption reading, "All is forgiven and I am Charlie." ELN has chosen not to show the image as Muslims do not believe in any visual depictions of their prophet. This new issue comes as Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula claimed responsibility earlier today for last week's attacks. In a video released from Al-Qaeda, a top commander says the Paris attack, which killed 12, was because Charlie Hebdo depicted the Muslim prophet Muhammad. This morning's copy of the magazine with Muhammad on the cover has sold record numbers. The paper increased its regular 60,000 copy circulation and could sell as many as 5 million. Issues being sold on eBay are offered for more than $100,000. Back on this side of the Atlantic, Speaker of the House John Boehner is resting a little easier after a federal grand jury indicted a man for planning to poison the speaker. Michael Hoyt called 911 back in October and told dispatchers that he wanted to poison Speaker Boehner at the Wetherington Country Club where Hoyt worked as a bartender. Hoyt told officers that he believed he was Jesus Christ and John Boehner was the devil. Hoyt wanted to kill him because he was, quote, mean at the country club. Hoyt is currently being held for a court-ordered mental treatment. And finally, Houston, we may have a problem. Scary moments earlier this morning. Shortly after 4 a.m., astronauts were forced to evacuate the American side of the International Space Station. This was after systems detected a possible ammonia leak. All astronauts on the U.S. side of the station were relocated to the Russian side, and all are safe with no injuries. NASA is currently investigating whether this was a false alarm or a real threat. With some of this morning's headlines, I'm Jonathan Winston. Mackenzie, back to you.
Thanks, Jonathan. While much of the world's attention focused on the massacre in Paris last week, people in Nigeria are mourning the deaths of 2,000 people killed at the hands of Islamic terrorists. Boko Haram is believed responsible for the massacre that started early this month in northern Nigeria. Amnesty International reports this could be the deadliest attack in the organization's history. ELN senior Omalaya Oho has family in Nigeria, but says their region was unaffected by the attacks.
Big news this week for the local LGBT community. The ELN Community Church voted Sunday to be open and affirming, meaning the church now fully welcomes and accepts people of all sexual orientations. This is the second church in Alamance County to do so. Life Journey UCC on Mebane Street became open and affirming 4.5 years ago. And if you need a new way to get around, here's one that won't break your bank. A new bus service started running from Greensboro to Chapel Hill on January 12th. The transportation system PART stands for Piedmont Authority of Regional Transportation. There is a park and ride in the parking lot of the Mebane Cone Health Med Center right by the Tanger outlets and other stops including Alamance County College, UNC Hospital, and the Piedmont Triad International Airport. Look for the bus schedule at partnc.org.
There are books to help college students tackle their fall semester, but what about winter term? Fitting 4 months of class into 3 weeks can be a little overwhelming. With tips to help your GPA this January is our Victoria Chapa. Victoria?
Thanks, Mackenzie. You know, I'm a transfer student who's never had a January term. Let's just say it's been an adjustment. I've been speaking to students around campus about how to make the adjustment. First, pace yourself. 4 months of class in 3 weeks means 4 months of homework too. After 3 hours of class, space out when you get your work done and then take a quick break. Going off of that, use your time wisely. Get ahead with your classes and then focus on making time to schedule time to search for summer internships on a job. It's never too early to perfect your resume. Lastly, even though it may not feel like it, your classes are going by fast. Make sure you go to your teacher if you need help. You're covering a lot of content in a short amount of time. Asking your professors early could save you your grade. With your J-term tips, I'm Victoria Chapa. Marcella and Mackenzie, back to you.
Thanks, Victoria. Raising the bar, a popular spot for generations of ELN students before it closed. Now Michelle Alfini reports that a familiar pub is back. And later in the show, it's like Broadway in basketball. The star is hurt and the understudy becomes a star.
I didn't know it was going to be this big, but I'm glad it's going to be a big impact player.
On Monday night's show, we introduced you to Tony's Pub and Subs, a new restaurant opened just down the street across from Arts West. Today we hear more from Tony himself on the vision for the bar. Our Michelle Alfini has the story.
Lifelong Burlington resident Tony Caruso thought there was something missing when the previous bar, Sandy's, closed in 2013.
Well, I want to bring it back, bring up not the exact same thing that the old Sandy's was, but the location, the spot, the atmosphere, which is a little different from the bigger bar scene.
That's why he opened Tony's Pub and Subs, a place where everyone could go.
I do want to mix the local and the ELN crowd. I know ELN is known, certain bars are known for their college nights, which, I definitely want to cater to the college kids, definitely. But I want the locals to feel welcome here.
And even those of all ages are welcome.
I had somebody ask me, can I bring my 10-year-old to shoot a game pool? Yes, you can, and I want that.
Tony's grand opening is this Saturday, and Caruso looks forward to filling his bar and some drinks. Michelle Alfini, ELN Local News.
And even though the grand opening isn't until Saturday, Tony's is open every day this week from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. And if you've been waiting for a phone app that reads your mind, it's coming, and soon. Our John Curtis is in studio with a preview on Mellow Mind, an app that will use your brainwaves to help you relax. John?
Thanks, Mackenzie and Marcella. Many say college is the best 4 years of their lives, but sometimes the stress that comes from school can be a little too much to take. Luckily, a new product coming this September will help with that problem. It's called Mellow Mind. Here's how Mellow Mind works. You turn on your phone, put on a headset, and click the app. Simple as that. Then the headset automatically syncs with the app and measures your brain waves. Based on your neural activity, Mellow Mind then creates a custom song designed to help your brain relax. Although the device may look like it came out of Star Trek, reviews online say it really does help with the stress. If you're interested in Mellow Mind, you will have to wait a little while, and you're going to have to spend a couple bucks. Mellow Mind is not expected to be in retail stores until the end of this year, but can be pre-ordered for around $300. That is all I have for this week's Tech Update. I'm John Curtis. Back to you, Mackenzie and Marcella.
Thanks, John. With all the free time this winter term, you might find yourself binge watching your favorite Netflix TV shows. But if you're more of a bookworm than a movie junkie, check out sites like Oyster or Scribd. These websites are almost like Netflix for books. You can rent ebooks, and like Netflix, the digital library is always expanding. Right now, there are more than 1 million books available.
And if video games are more your style, you'll want to hear this. More than 2,000 classic games are becoming available on the website Console Living Room. All those classic games you loved from elementary school, like Oregon Trail and Prince of Persia, are ready to play right now. To play today, you can find the link on our Facebook and Twitter.
And a game I loved is now finally available on Mac computers. The Sims 4, where you can create and play as your own avatar, will be available for purchase for Macs next month.
I'm Brianna Eck. After the break, we'll take a look at what the Phoenix have going on the rest of the week. Surprises for the team this year has been the emergence of freshman guard Elijah Bryant. Bryant leads the Phoenix in both points and assists. In the CAA, Bryant is leading rookies in scoring. ELN sat down to get Bryant's take on his rise to success.
I wanted to help the team. I didn't know it was going to be this big, but I'm glad I can be a big impact player.
Since coming to campus, number 33 has become a leader for ELN basketball. After sophomore Luke Eddy went down with a torn ACL in December, Elijah Bryant stepped up to lead the team.
I've always tried to be a leader, even when Luke was still playing. But when he went down, I knew that I would have to score a little bit more or do a lot more little things out there. So I'm just trying to lead the guys.
Since Eddy went down, Bryant has averaged nearly 20 points per game while helping ELN to a 4-2 record.
He works hard. That's the most important thing. He's always in the gym getting shots up. So it definitely pays off, and he's gonna be a special kid at ELN.
Coach Matt Matheny has given Bryant a lot of freedom to control the offense, something that Bryant says helps him believe in himself.
It gives me a lot of confidence, but I try not to abuse the confidence. So, as he says, make a single instead of trying to hit the home run.
And Bryant's play has attracted attention. He's been named the CAA Rookie of the Week 4 times this season, the most of any conference newcomer.
The accolades from the conference Those are wonderful things, but those are not something that he talks about or we talk about all that much.
Those statistics don't matter much to Coach Matheny. If Bryant's strong play continues, he could be a 1,000-point scorer by the end of his sophomore year. Andrew Feather, Elon Local News.
Sticking with men's basketball, the team faces a familiar foe tonight in the College of Charleston. Live from Alumni Gym to preview this game is our Andrew Feather. Andrew?
Thanks, Brianna. I'm here at Alumni Gym where you'll be able to see Elijah Bryant in action tonight as Elon takes on CAA foe College of Charleston. Coming off a loss to Hofstra on Saturday, the Phoenix is looking to improve to 3-2 in conference play against the Cougars, who is currently on an 8-game losing streak, including all 4 games in conference play. The Phoenix can't relax, though, as Charleston is led by the guard combo of Canyon Berry and Joe Chaley, both of whom average over 10 points a game. Elon will need solid play from its guards as well, as the team seems to live and die by the 3. If you can't be an alumni tonight, you can follow us on Twitter at ELN Sports for live updates, and we'll have full coverage after the game. Brianna, back to you.
Don't forget the game tonight is a whiteout, all white. The weather may be cold, but that's not all that's freezing the Elon Phoenix this week. As Andrew showed us, men's basketball taking on rival College of Charleston at 7 p.m. in Alumni Gym. Tomorrow, Elon women's hoops take home game with James Madison at 7 p.m. Women's track and field leaves Friday for a weekend at the Liberty Open in Virginia, and the men's tennis team plays at South Carolina Saturday. Men's basketball also traveling on Saturday, playing James Madison in Harrisonburg, Virginia. And on Sunday, if you want a break from watching the NFL championship games, women basketball will host Towson at 2 p.m. at home. Thursday, the Elon women's basketball team will take to the court at Alumni Gym to take James Madison Dukes. James Madison is the reigning champion in CAA women's basketball. The Dukes are currently ranked first place in the CAA with 13-2 record overall and 4 straight wins in conference play. The Phoenix is currently third in the CAA behind Hofstra. Elon women's basketball is 10th in 5 overall and 3-1 in conference play. We'll be posting updates throughout the game on Twitter at ELN Sports, and check out our Facebook page for full post-game coverage. We are less than 1 month away from the opening day for the Elon baseball team. But before the season gets underway, head coach Mike Kennedy has some exciting news. The Elon baseball team announced that the addition of 10 new players will join the Phoenix for the 2016 season. Starring the list is Ty Adcock, a catcher from North Carolina, infielders Cam Devaney from Amherst, New Hampshire, and Ryan Gordon from Pennsylvania. Also joining the team are 7 pitchers, which is a very large number. That's all we have for sports. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Marcella and Mackenzie, back to you.
Thanks, Bree, and that's all we have for you this week, but ELN Midday will be back next Wednesday at the same time.
For all the latest news, you can always find us on our website, elonlocalnews.com, or follow us on Twitter at elonlocalnews.
And tune in next Monday at 6 p.m. for all the news you need to know. Have a great rest of your week, Elon.